because they almost fucked up the universe 2 times.
He's up to his shenanigans again, but my motivation to read is low. Like a lot has happened. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and this is the Astral Library. We're gonna be doing a bit of time warp because present Emily here is going to be introducing to the video, and we're going to jump back because today I have for you guys another 24 for 2024 reading vlog. So for this time around, I was not in the mood to just leave it entirely up to chance. So you'll see that in the following clip, I'm going to break down some of my 24 for 24 picks and pull one out to read for this vlog. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys at the end of the vlog. All right, it is time to pick my next 24 for 2024 book. And normally I would like draw from my little jar, but I'm just not in the mood for some of the like really big fantasies. So rather potentially picking one of those, I think I'm gonna pick out 3 options and then like roll a randomized number generator. So that way we can see what's gonna go and, you know, not be mad about what we have. So I think I'm gonna do sharp objects, Obsidio, and we'll do the Bromance Book Club. I'll do a randomized number generator for these 3 books and see which one it lands on, because I think all of these will go relatively quickly and I don't think I'll have too much trouble reading them, which is what I want right now. I just want something quick and easy and that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna pick a randomized number generator and I'll come back with you when we have it figured out. So we have a spinny wheel instead of a randomized number generator. So let's go ahead and see which one we get. All right, we have Obsidio as the winner. Let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, so our pick for this vlog is Obsidio, which I'm very excited for because I've been wanting to finish this series off forever. And I recently got really reinvested in the series, so I'm glad to be getting to this relatively soon. So I can't tell you what this book is about because it's the last book in a trilogy, but I can kind of explain what the series is. So if you don't know, Obsidio is the 3rd and final book in the Illuminae File series by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, and it is a mixed media sci-fi story where we are following a cast of characters. I want to say it's 4 characters as of right now. I don't know if we're going to be introduced to 2 new characters in this book, but how these books usually work is we're following 2 characters on a spaceship as they're trying to figure out some sort of issue going on. And we're being told that story through multiple like forms. So we have some surveillance tape, we have text chat, like system analogs, all sorts of things that are all kind of coming together to paint this larger picture of these people stranded in space and also fighting against a conspiracy at the same time. They're very, very interesting books and they're very quick reads, which I'm very excited about because I just need something short, sweet, and fun. And even though this book is like huge and you wouldn't think like, oh yeah, short, sweet, and fun, read Obsidio. These books are really quick to get through, so I'm excited for that. I don't have a lot of time today, I would say. It's about, let's see, 1 o'clock on Monday. I have tutoring at 5:30, so I have about 4 hours. I have some other work I need to get done, but I think I'm gonna dedicate some time to just sitting and reading this. That's what I'm going to do, and then I might like break it apart by doing some like chores and stuff around the house. I will catch you when I have an update of what to say in this book. All right, hello. First update I have for you guys. I'm about 50 or so pages in, so I'm not very far at all. but I have a better grasp of like what this story is going to be if you don't follow the series. So the first book, we are following Katie, who is on this planet called Curzia, I think it is. Some scientific name, Carenza. We're going to go with Carenza for the rest of this vlog. Carenza is being invaded by this company called Biotech, and they flee. And they're being chased by this company because they are escaping, and they will have word that this company is invading this planet and essentially doing a genocide. So that's book 1. Book 2, we are following Hannah, who is aboard another ship that Biotech also invades and is trying to take over. And we watch as she kind of like systematically takes them down and make sure that the people are able to survive and, get them out and get out to safety. And she ends up linking with Katie at the end of the book, and they're both trying to work towards beating Biotech and stop them from, committing a genocide. In like the amount of time that they've been like running from the ship and just trying to like outgun a major corporation, they're running out of supplies. And the only place that they're able to kind of resupply is to go back to Carenza. So that is where this last book is taking place. We are going back to Carenza and trying to see not only what has been going on in the time that this planet's been occupied by this company, but also what is the plan to stop this company from not only doing genocide, but I think fucking up the universe, because they almost fucked up the universe 2 times. Like, it almost exploded. We've had to fix it, save everyone, the big shebang. In this book, we're getting the perspectives of the protagonists from our first 2 books. So we're following Katie and Hannah, as well as the cast of characters that come from their books. But in addition, we're following Katie's cousin in this book. She is part of a underground rebellion on the planet that is fighting against Biotech and kind of trying to regain some sort of control over their lives, because Biotech has taken like their families under hostage and is like essentially threatening to kill them every day and controlling every aspect of their life, which people are, upset by. And so we're following this rebellion that's going on and just kind of like this shambles of a life on Carenza as we're kind of essentially waiting for Katie and them to arrive. But also, every book has a second chance romance in it. So in the first one, we are doing Katie and Ezra, who were together before the invasion of the planet, and then were broken up and rekindled their love during this time on the ship. And then in the second book, we are following Hannah and what's his name? Nick, who I guess they're not necessarily a second chance romance in that they've always like had this connection. We're never like together, but they end up getting together in the second book. And in this book, with Katie's cousin Asha, she actually finds out that her old flame, who she used to have this like huge epic love story with before she got in trouble and was like exiled to this other planet, has arrived on this planet, but he is part of the Biotech crew. So they are opposite sides of this war. So it's going to be very Romeo and Juliet, I'm guessing. I'm interested in seeing how the relationship goes, because we just got this whole spiel of like how like hot and heavy their romance was and how quick it was. Like, she has a tattoo of her name and his name on her ribs, and she's just talking about how much she loved him and that her parents kind of got in the way because they were getting in trouble together, etc., etc. I'm interested in seeing how it goes and how far Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff are going to really play on this differences in sides, because this is a very major thing. Ashley even brings up that he is part of the side, whether knowingly helping or unknowingly, that has been bombing and killing and imprisoning the people of her planet. She's been living under their rule and under their thumb for 7 months. And he's just arriving and expecting them to kind of just fall back in. Hopefully it's not like too quick of a like, yeah, I forgive you because you didn't do anything. And it's like, you are still complicit even if you aren't actively the one dropping the bombs. So we will see. I really enjoyed the first 50 pages. Normally I'm wary because they're kind of slow, but these were a good first 50 pages. So I'm hoping it continues that pace. I'm too cold to sit on my couch and read anymore, so I'm gonna go play video games. I will probably pick this up later tonight, maybe read another 50 or so pages, depending on if I finish my lecture slides for tomorrow. I will catch you in the next update. Hello, it is Tuesday the 6th. So I am here in my house because I moved class to Zoom today because there was a whole bunch of flash flood warnings. And I was like, I'm not driving an hour on highways to get to campus. Not happening. And it was awful because Zoom class is
horrific. Yes, you as a student may hate it. Just know your teacher also hates it. It's like pulling teeth to get students to talk. It was nice to be home and like to have time to like get myself breakfast, take my time in the morning, but it's not worth it for the class. Like at all. It's not worth it at all. But I'm holding office hours on Zoom, which no one's gonna come to because it's a rainy day and they didn't want to talk to me in the first place during class. So we'll see. So I'm just gonna sit here and have my Zoom open and just kind of wait and see if anyone pops in. And I'm going to read more of Obsidio. So I did not end up reading anymore last night. It was just really cold and I was like, I don't want to sit on my couch and read. I'm gonna sit in my room and read now. And hopefully I think I might read for the whole office hour. So that's about an hour and a half. So I'm hoping to get through more of this book and really get kind of like captivated on it. I have a bit more work to do today than I did yesterday. So I have some essays I need to grade and I have to read a couple more other things in preparation for a meeting tomorrow. Other than that, I'm just gonna lean into this rainy day and lay in bed and relax and not stress too much about all the things I need to do. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna catch you when I have another update about Obsidio. Hello, it is Thursday about like 2:30 and I've made progress in Obsidio. I haven't been making as quick as progress as I thought I would, mainly because I just had a lot to do this week and I've been bouncing around and haven't really had a ton of time to just like sit down and absorb a book or like energy to sit down and absorb a book. But I have done some reading. I think I'm at page 206. I am well into the start of this book. I am a third of the way through because I think it's like 600 something pages. And I have to say that this one's a lot more of a slow build than the other two books have been. Particularly the second book, which I believe took off pretty quickly because we were dealing with this invasion on a ship. For this book, we're having a lot of moving pieces, particularly because we're following two settings and waiting for them to collide before we can really get to our climactic moment. So on one hand, we're following Asha and the resistance on Carenza as they are trying to fight back against biotech before they can fix the Magellan spaceship, because when the spaceship is up and running, it has the capability to like warp to other places. And if that happens, they are going to liquidate or kill everyone else on the planet that they haven't killed already. And so like that's a ticking clock that we have. Last I think we're at, it's like 8 days or something like that. And so we're following her as she's kind of describing what life is like. But in combination with Ash's point of view, we have Lindens or Lindels. I don't know. There's so many names in this stupid series and it's so hard to follow around. His name's Reese. That I remember because, you know, who doesn't know Reese? So in Reese's perspective, he is a soldier for biotech and he is come to this planet to see his ex-girlfriend who he was madly in love with and is being faced with the realities of like what is the war he's been, you know, participating in, even in if the fact he's like adamant that I wasn't doing any of the killing and I wasn't even here. Asha rightly tells him, you are complicit in this, by putting on that uniform, you are complicit in endorsing what is being done here. Asha, as well as the Resistance, have come up with this plan to use Reese for their own benefit. So Asha is starting to reach out to Reese and trying to really get him on their side so they can either potentially take over the Magellan ship themselves and get out of here, or to die trying because they are running out of time before they are going to be killed. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Katie, Ezra, Nick, and Hannah. So our protagonists from the first 2 books aboard the Mao ship, which is a battleship that has like weapons on them to use to potentially, when they get back to Carenza, to fight for the Magellan ship themselves. Now the problem being is kind of twofold. On one hand, the commandment aboard the Mao is in shambles, and everyone's trying to essentially fight for power. And particularly Katie, Hannah, Nick, and Ezra are being ridiculed for being so young, despite everything they've accomplished in the first 2 books and the reason why everyone's still alive, really. They're facing a lot of flack for being young, and no one's wanting to listen to them because of their age, which is especially frustrating for Ezra, who's been charged with like preparing people to fly like the mini fighter jets to defend themselves when they get back to this planet filled with people who are trying to kill them and have actually been trying to kill them, but they don't want to listen to him because he's so young. And Nick is facing ridicule because he's been part of like the mafia and has like the tattoo on his neck that says he's killed someone before, and they all have blood on their hands. They've all bled for this cause, and they're all frustrated that they're not being listened to. Even Katie, who probably has the most respect out of everyone, is only allowed to be in a position of power because she's literally the only one that could do the job. She's the only like computer analyst, specialist person still alive with her capabilities. So that's the only reason she has respect. And even then, she notes how they're not really listening to her. It's in the segment I just read, we've got another issue, and that the Mao is not built or capable of sustaining the number of people they have on board. So I think the ship was built for like 1,000 or so people, it said, and there's currently, I want to say like 3,000 to 3,500 people on this ship. And Aiden has just told us that, hey, this ship's environmental system cannot sustain it. That there is a 74% chance that we're all going to die of asphyxiation 4 days before we reach our destination. And Katie's like, fuck, how do we fix it? And he's like, there's no fixing it. This ship wasn't built for it, and the creator, captain, whatever, saw no reason to put any protocols of how to like overtake this overload. So now we're running against a ticking clock of not only of having to get to Carenza to beat the Magellan from taking off, but also we're facing against this ticking clock of CO2 coming in and locking all the oxygen because of the influx of people. And Aiden is being very much Aiden in his creepy AI self, where he's like, I'm gonna solve a problem. And he just had this really weird conversation with Ella where he was trying to essentially justify what he did in the first book. He's up to his shenanigans again here because in that conversation with Ella, he was like, you were part of the mafia, you understand the need to kill people and to call when we need to. So just remember that. And he's like logging off and he's not saying anything now. And he doesn't want Katie to die because he's obsessed with her. We will see what's going on with that. There's still quite a bit of this book to go. And I'm interested in it. I'm especially interested in seeing when it's going to pick up, because we're building these moments of tension that I think are really necessary because we have to establish what's going on in both worlds before we can get to the like huge climactic moment. But it is 200 pages. And I think especially now with the introduction of the oxygen system failing and CO2 levels are rising, potentially killing everyone on board the Mao, we're now going to have more of a like ticking clock to kind of pick up the speed of the pace of the book, because a lot of it is in preparation of like what's going on. Oh, also another thing that I found really cool. So a lot of this book is told collection of case files for a legal trial against biotech, and Hannah is the one that's in charge of sorting and arranging all this. But we found out that the kind of person who is summarizing and transcripting these videos, who I've loved since like the very first book, is freaking Nick. It is Nick who's been giving us all this great commentary and all these funny ass remarks. And I am here for it. I'm glad for that little detail. It put a smile on my face because I love Nick as a character. He's so fucking funny. And so that's a really cool detail that I'm excited to see what else I learn in these last 400 pages, because the series is almost done. And then that will be another series off my TBR, which is crazy. But I think I'm going to put this down for a bit. So I've been reading for the past couple hours. So I think I'm gonna do something else for a bit. And then I'm going to read more tonight because I don't have school tomorrow, and that's nice. But I need a break. So I'll catch you when I have another update. Hello, it is Friday, so I did not end up getting to read last night. I got kind of swept up in writing some notes for a presentation I had this morning, and so I just didn't get to reading. And I'm gonna try to settle down to read a chunk of Obsidio today. I want to read at least 200 pages today, if not finish this book, because I don't know if I'm going to try to wrap this vlog up in this week or if I'm going to carry it on into next week, but I think the goal is to finish it this week. I am still 200 pages in, so you can see I'm not too far from halfway point. I need another 100 or so. I want to get there because I want to finish this book and be done with another 24 for 2024 challenge, but my motivation to read is low. And I think it's just because I've had a really busy and long week of reading things, so I don't necessarily want to do it. And I have student essays I need to grade, which I really don't want to do. But I said I would try to get them done by today. So I want to say I have 6 more essays to do, which is not terrible, but is enough that I don't want to do it. I'm going to not think about that. And I'm instead going to read Obsidio. And I think I'll read until I'm going to grade essays, which I think I'm going to grade about 7 o'clock. I might stop at 5. So I might read for 3 hours, take a break at 5, do whatever I'm going to do, down and read and grade some student essays. Let's go ahead and dive in. I got Miss Dolores over here and then Winnie over here to kind of keep me company as I read. So let's go ahead and enjoy this nice cloudy day reading a book. Okay. It has been past my 3 hours, I think a couple minutes after, and I'm on page 500 of this book. And I don't want to say things super picked up, but we definitely have a lot happened. A lot has happened since I last saw you and updated, because we have Aiden doing what Aiden does best and systematically deciding to kill people for the greater good, to which at some extent he is right, and at some extent he's, morally wrong because he's a computer and does not understand the moral complexity of decisions like that. But a purely logical standpoint, yes, he does the whole, would you kill one person to save 100 people, but multiply that by 1,000, and he's Aiden. And we had this kind of sad moment where Katie shuts him down because he killed 2,000 people in this cold-hearted logistical way, and she's we can't have that, so I'm going to disable you and turn you off. And so we do. And that was kind of a sad moment because Aiden's been such a huge part of this book and a part of Katie's journey, in particular. So I can feel her. She goes through this whole thing where she feels really guilty about doing it because he's been such an integral figure to her life, but also guilty that she feels guilty because he killed 2,000 people. Girl's going through it, and we don't quite know what to do. Of course, that's not the last of Aiden. Aiden gets brought back later on because remember how I was explaining that there was a lot of tension going aboard the Mao ship? Well, of course, there was a mutiny where people died. More people ended up dying trying to suppress the mutiny, and everything's gone to shit. Everything has gone to shit for all these characters. A very, very low chance that this is going to work, which is kind of the fun of this book, is how is this going to work out?
Because on one hand, we do know that these are dossier files from a legal case. So at some point, these have to get out. But the book is very clever in that it leaves a contingency that even if they die, they're going to have Aiden or someone or some system to kind of distribute these files regardless of their survival. So we're still in this limbo of do they make it or don't they make it? Yeah, so I'm sorry if that was all nonsense to you, but I am for sure going to finish these last 100 pages because I'm hooked. And even though I was going to take a break at 5, I lied. So I'm going to sit here and finish this book, hopefully in the next hour or so. I don't think it will take me long because I'm invested. We will see. So I will catch you when I finish this book.
Hi, I'm just up here for a quick little update because these motherfuckers just pulled a fucking prim. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We have not even like 50 pages left and you killed the little girl we've been searching for the last 50 pages? Are you kidding me? Ah! I get it. It's the horrors of war. But please, can we not kill the small children? We could kill someone else. We can kill one of the main characters. Let's leave the children alone, damn it. No one liked it when Prim died in Hunger Games. No one's gonna like it here. I certainly don't. Okay, I'm gonna get back to reading because I'm mad and I want to finish this now. I'll catch you when it's done. Hopefully.
Okay. I know I said kill the characters, but I said kill the characters instead of killing the little child. Don't kill the characters after killing the child, you motherfuckers. I feel like I've gone through too many damn books for them to actually be gone. The book's almost fucking done, so maybe. Are you kidding me? Are you making me sad about a murderous AI? Are you making me sad about a murderous AI? It's a parachute. Fucking parachute. That's it. That's it. It's all done. All 600 pages of it. It's done. Oh God. I'll get back to you later. I have a confession to make. It's been almost a week since I finished Obsidio, and not because I needed all that time to think about this book, but just because I've been a busy bee and I haven't had time to sit down and talk to you about this book. But oh my God, I'm ready for it because this book was so good. This whole series was so good. And I'm so mad at myself for how long it took me to actually go through and finish these books. As I'm sure you saw me kind of going through reading this book, I had a really good time, despite the fact that this book had quite a slow start to it in comparison to the last book, and I would say even the first book, because we have a lot of build up to do because we're introducing new characters, we're figuring out what our old characters are up to, and kind of what is the game plan. And so it takes a moment for this book to really kick off and for the tension to build, but once we get there, it gets there, and it just held my attention and I had to finish it. And oh my God, I loved every second of this book. As you saw, it definitely tricked me. I'm like, are we gonna go this way? Are we going a different way? Because these narrators, while I love them and I love their characters, they are sometimes unreliable as fuck. And that's because this series has an agenda to it, or rather, the way it's presented to us is through an agenda. These are legal documents trying to tell a certain tale. And us, the readers, are we can't always trust them to tell us the exact
truth, even though they are saying that these are the files that shed the truth of what to say. Overall, I really, really enjoyed it. And again, I'm so mad because I read the Illuminate files and I loved it. And then I read Gemina and I did not want to read about new characters, so I set it down for a year to 2 years to some stupid amount of time. And that was a mistake because it was so good. And this one, I would say, I definitely like Gemina the best out of the three. I think the characters are more fun. I think the pacing of it is a little more exciting. It kind of draws you in more. Versus Illuminate and Obsidio definitely take their time to kind of build towards it. And that's not saying that that's a wrong choice to make because these books very much need it for the emotional payoff. But it does mean it takes a bit longer to really get into it. Versus I feel like Gemina is like the perfect combination of just like, here's the premise, here's the action, let's go. Finished this book. I did find my attention wavering at parts, but never too often and never for too long. So another series from my TBR, done and dusted. But that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Leave me a comment down below if you've ever read the Illuminate files or if you are thinking of reading them. I promise you this is a great sci-fi series for advanced sci-fi people as well as for beginners because it's just so easy and fun to read. And even though these books are humongous, they're so quick to read because of the mixed media involved in this story, which just makes it so much fun to read and to even just look at. But if you made it this far, go ahead and leave me a little robot emoji, you know, for our boy Aiden. But otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!